Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mark Anthony here in beautiful Tampa Bay, Florida, and we're here at the world-famous MI40 gym, owned by top IFBB professional bodybuilder Ben Pukulski, good friend of mine. I'm here with other Redcon athlete, Dallas McCarver, who's turned into this huge star, and I'm really pumped to get to do some workouts with him, and Joe, who's going to show us some MI40 movements, and we're going to implement some new training into our arsenal.
What's up, guys? Joe Bennett, Mark Anthony, Dallas McCarver here, just finishing up a chest workout. So kind of walking you through a little bit of the thought process. You'll see me taking these guys first through some activation stuff. You get the top of your skull as a ceiling. And so we want to do like an internal rotation, external rotation. So like the first one's internally rotate. So really turn in as much as you can. And let your shoulders actually like protract forward a little bit. And then just hold for a second. And then actually do the opposite way. So externally rotate, turn the arms out as much as you can. And then actually take it into retraction as you go too. So retract, external rotate, hold hands. Just kidding. I should probably move you guys' seats a little bit further apart. If we start doing that, we'll get like a different demographic watching though. Oh, fuck. Redcon. Nothing really complicated, honestly. It looks like we're doing fancy voodoo type stuff, which we do a little bit of that stuff. We get that off camera, the voodoo stuff. But basically it's simple. It's like, you know, what surrounding musculature is involved when we're doing chest. But we just want to make sure it's active. What does active mean? It's got to produce contractions the whole time that you're training. So we activate it with contractions. So we do some stuff for shoulder girdle, some protraction, retraction stuff around the scapula, stuff right around the shoulder joint, rotator cuff type stuff. And it's really just the idea of like, some people like the activity of like, you know, being warm before they train, where it's like it's hot as hell outside. We don't need to get warm. We want muscles that we're actually going to use ready to contract. So that's just really the idea between that stuff. While staying tall, we're going to actually like go through like you would like an incline press. Take your arms up. So just reaching out first, and this one actually protract and elevate. So feel your shoulder blades pull apart and up. So literally like you're trying to reach as far as you can this way. And then come back exactly like you would an incline press. So pull back, drive your elbows back. And here, hold for a good 2 seconds. Hold down and back as hard as you can. Good, then same thing again. So reach. Like I said, let the shoulder blades elevate. Forward, little hold. Good, back down. Same thing, squeeze, hard squeeze. Then from there, once we're active, we did a couple isometrics. You'll see me having Dallas and Mark do some things where they're getting their pecs really shortened and really contracted. Whenever you get a muscle in that position, it's just very neurologically challenging. So it makes your brain work hard. It essentially tells your brain to fire up so it can get good contractions going. It's not physically taxing for the muscle. Like a dumbbell overhead press. So press like you're going straight overhead. And the whole time, pressure back your hand towards the floor.
That's my favorite.
Yep. And then just go through that motion a few times. So real slow, the whole time pressing down and back. Good. Yeah.
God, my left arm is shit.
Press right through.
Gotta start jerking off in my right arm too.
Let's go one more.
Oh. Did you hear that?
No. Get some crunching in there.
That's a little fucking pop, little crunch.
Good.
Put your hair in here.
Get some grinding.
No, not no grinding, just like oh, of course it's not.
Oh. Sure, man, sure.
It's one of those 6 screws wobbling around in there.
And then right from there we get into kind of our big prime movement. So we did incline dumbbells first. Really that's an output movement. I mean, we went relatively heavy. I mean, Mark Anthony and I aren't strong. and Dallas is not strong right now. We're still stronger than both of us. You know, so we went past the pink dumbbells. We went some like 140s, 155s or so. And really with Dallas, like the big thing we're focusing on with him and helps Mark Anthony and myself as well too, is Dallas has big ass shoulders. So we're always working on his positioning to make sure that his chest is working and not his delt. So you see me cueing him constantly to pull his shoulders down and back, and especially for incline type stuff, really to keep his upper chest in a position where it can work. That's the position he needs to be in. So, you know, we're really just cueing that. I think they like say like, go ahead and try it. It's been like kind of said that. It's like you're not gonna break it. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, right. Come on, I got you. Wasn't it? Come on, another one. There it is. Come on. Squeeze. One more, Dallas. Come on, I got you. Finish. Yeah. Back and shoulder. That's good. Yeah. And then from there, once he's got that lock in stone, he's just trying to work his pecs as hard as he can work them. Then from there, we went to a sweet custom bench that we have. We call it the B-Pack bench because Ben Pukulski and myself kind of had a little hand in designing that. It's a very thin bench down the middle, and what it lets you do is pull your shoulders around the bench, so you can really get them further back than you could, you know, if you were just on a standard flat bench, really with the same goal in mind. I mean, if you watch the video, it's very clear that everyone's chest is in a very high position, shoulders are very far back, and it's just great for isolating the chest, really getting a stretch on it. So we did some flies for that reason. So we did some dumbbell flies. You'll see again, we're emphasizing exercises where they have the most merit. You know, spending time in that lengthened position, really making Dallas and Mark work there, making sure they're not coming up where there's no tension in this position. You know, so keeping them out here where there's still tension on the muscle. Then from there we went to an incline Smith machine press. I know we're gonna get questions on that one. What's the point of the bands? The reality is every time that you do a press with like a barbell or a dumbbell, it's extremely taxing here. Like if you fail, you're gonna fail here, where this part could be relatively easy. And all that means is your body is much weaker here than it is here. So the whole point of the bands, you'll see, when they're at the bottom, they're tense, they're tight. So they're essentially assisting the motion. And when they're at the top, they're completely relaxed and they're slack. So all that means is when you're at the top, you have the total weight of what's on the bar, and when you're at the bottom, you're getting a little bit of an assistance in a spot. So when you're actually doing it, like the easy thing that you want to feel is it's 10 out of 10 difficult the whole time. It's equally difficult as it is here. You know, when you're used to doing just like a barbell press, once you get through this point, it's kind of easy to finish.
It's like when somebody spots you to help you get out there.
Yeah, it's kind of help you out the bottom, and it makes it very even every single rep. So when you get to your last couple reps when you're failing, instead of like you're kind of used to like, oh, it's not too bad to finish, like you've got to grind that much harder to actually finish the reps. So basically the purpose of that, it's a very efficient movement. It's hard for the entire range of motion, and if you're not used to it, like I said, you really don't get a break. Like half of your time when you're pressing normally, it's like really, really hard, get a break. Really, really hard, get a break. Where this time it's pretty much even the entire time. So a little later in the workout, it's a great exercise too. We did the Smith because it's more stable. You don't have to stabilize as much with your shoulder girdle and shoulder blade, so we could just kind of get in and do some work. And then we finished with some cable flies. Nothing really fancy there, just did a decline cable fly. We got some cool, these prime grip handles. If you've ever used mag grips, they're very similar. They just allow you to kind of push through the palms of your hand and not so much focus on like the death grip while you're doing flies. Straight up this one. Stay down back. And then from there we just touched on some triceps a little bit. Normally when we touch on triceps, we make Dallas do like 47 drop sets and giant sets and triple sets. But we actually took it pretty easy on him today. And if anyone's seen Dallas does that movement quite a lot, For bigger guys, which Dallas qualifies as slightly, you know, it's a great movement for lining the cables and the force up with joints. So again, if you had a little narrow handle, you know, it basically turns into this type of motion. You know, a lot of rotation at the elbows, at the wrist, at the shoulder, where here it just lines up and you can have that elbow joint hinge just how it's supposed to hinge. So that's basically it. You know, not going, just trying to get a good workout. You know, working on positioning, a little bit of form, a little bit of execution stuff, and definitely got some work in at the same time. You know, Dallas is kind of easing into off-season a little bit type deal now. So yeah. So we're not going apeshit, but at the same time we didn't quite cupcake through. You know, we basically had a few working sets at every position or every movement, and really just kind of went by feel. You know, we just want to get a good workout, and you know, so overall, that was the goal. Anything to add, guys? Or? No, I got it. Sweet. That's it.